Hello, everybody. That is Misha from Southern Europe, venture capital expert. I do fundraising for startups, especially for early stages. I do product market fit search, and I do business model validation for you. And we have online Valentin. Valentin, and yes, Valentin is a leader of Team 500 business unit, which deals with software development and digital marketing, precisely focused on startups funded and in the process of being funded, as we discussed just now. Okay, so topic of today, Valentin.
Okay. As a host of today's meeting, I would like to introduce the topic, which is top reasons for startup failures. I think that is very important to discuss in our space of why actually a startup fails. Because obviously it's not that hard in today's environment to receive money from venture capital or angel investors or friends, family, and other supporters. However, it is not that easy to maintain that level of success and to come to the next level where you can get money from your next investor or at least from your customers to support your growth and moving to the next stage. So we have several reports and researches on what are real reasons for these failures and for what's going on in these days. And today we're going to unveil all these reasons and discuss them in more detail, or probably provide some feedback or some statistics or some opinion on what in reality is going on. Maybe some stories from the startups that come to me and to Misha with their agenda and their process. So we have something to analyze, and we have something to discover on this test. And I'd like to discuss, well, basically, what are these common reasons for startup failures? Misha, can you please dive a little bit deeper into maybe this report or your own opinion? And let's identify actually these reasons, and then we'll discuss each of the reasons, or probably blocks of these reasons in more detail.
Good. So I start with the answer number 0, which will be what is not the reason for startup failure. Is not a reason for startup failure that you run out of cash or you fail to raise the next VC round. It's not a reason, so it's a symptom. So self-explanatory. So, but back to the point. Major leading reason for startup failures is the lack of product market fit. So startups develop solutions for problems which are not in existence, or for which much more convenient, cheaper solutions already exist for a while. Or even if they are exactly the same way cheap, the same way convenient, there is no reason for general public to switch the inertia of usage of trade, of usage of consume. So that's number 1, lack of product market fit. Second thing is business model, flawed business model. It's not a good business to sell $1 for 50 cents. So you need to be able to get your break even at a certain point of stage, or you are absolutely super sure that you will invent some very niche, very technical value, so which does not generate cash on their own, for example, technology solution, but which will be acquired by a huge competitor. But here you need to be very cautious that there is no oligopoly on the market for this. So there is not just one buyer. So there will be some kind of competition for your acquisition. So business model, that's crucial. Third thing is regulation. So many good companies failed because of the unpredictability of local regulation in different countries. So my favorite is France, of course. So France is a very difficult country to predict the reaction of the general public and of the general population. So for example, news of today, so scooters are prohibited in Paris. So
that's very recent news. Well, they just banned the usage of not all the scooters, however the ride-sharing scooters. You can use private scooter in Paris.
Yeah.
There's no problem with it. But there is a precedent for that, and I think that goes that gives some very important perspective to think a little bit further. We faced several identical issues with the Uber when Uber expanded globally, there were some protests for the drivers' unions, or maybe some organizations, or even some legislation provided by local governments to prohibit using of Uber and these global services, as they are actually prioritizing the use of like their service, but not the local providers for the services. Well, you make a good point. I agree with that.
Yes, and the fourth and the last one of major reasons is team issues. So sometimes teams are not the set of talents in the teams does not correspond, does not match the challenges of business model. So sometimes the set of talents is okay and for the business model, but there are some personal issues like characters, competition for leadership, and all such things. So that's four major reasons, would I say. There is a like in any distribution, major distribution, there is so-called long statistical tail of other minor reasons, but we will skip them for now, because like I would say that two sigmas, mathematically speaking, two sigmas, which means almost 100% of cases of startup failures, they relate to one of these four reasons. Okay, let's discuss. Let's start discussion from what? What do you want to start with?
Yeah, I would give you some stats on that. Well, we have some market reports, as I mentioned. For example, according to the CB Insights, 42 of all startup fails are due to lack of market demand. As you mentioned, that is one of the reasons. Probably not a good market fit, and that is what something well, really very important is going on in here. Well, different reports give different stats, but I totally agree that is one of the biggest issues, one of the biggest reasons. This means that something that the leaders of the product have on their mind is totally not that reflects the real market situation, the real maybe it is the real market status on time when the startup really incepts. However, in time this might change, or there might be a competition, or there might be a regulation, or there might be some changes in the public opinion, or in technology space, or whatever. However, there happens well, this obvious failure in terms of poor product market fit. So what actually can we do about that? So if that is one of the biggest reasons, so can we avoid that? Do you have an opinion on that, Misha?
Okay, let's start from product market fit. As you say, tests, and again tests. So like it's a classical definition of startup. So startup is not a business. So startup is a machine. Startup is a machine. It's an engine for testing. It's an engine for testing of various things. One of which is product market fit. So, for example, there are a lot of hypotheses in general, which constitute the general success in its overall integrity. So, first product market fit. Two participants in this equation. So first, it should be market. Market means it should be pain. It should be pain on the part of the customers. And second, this pain should be supported by cash. So people should be willing to pay cash to relieve the pain or whatever. So, and second participant of this equation is product. So you need some kind of solution. So maybe it's feasible solution, like real product. Maybe it's software. Maybe it's service. So there should be some kind of solution how to relieve this pain. So and all these taken together, it should be feasible. The issue of feasibility will be delved into when we will discuss business model, but in the very general approximation. So many startups do things which address fairly artificial pain, fairly artificial demand, something which is not really important. And they try to charge quite good price for relieving the pain which is not in existence. So back to your question, what to do? Tests. So tests are you develop hypothesis. So then your talent should be to invent the method, to invent the testing plan, how to test this hypothesis as accurately as possible, spending as less resources as possible. So my classical example is like space rockets. So, for example, you decided to sell space rockets for general population, like to fly to the Mars, to fly to the Neptune, and so on. So, and you before spending billions of dollars in making a factory for space rockets for general population, like you better first do a website, and on this website you place. Well, not fake, but prospective. You place prospective models of space rockets which you are trying to sell. So one is family space rocket. So one is sport space rocket. One is general purpose space rocket. So and then you spend a little bit of money for advertising, and you see the reaction of general population to this. Do people click on the button to buy? So you can start to test it accurately. You can start from with not placing a price, for example.
Describing Virgin Galactic. So that's what Richard Branson did. Some time ago, he presented some of the ideas how to travel in space with his new rocketry. I'm not sure that it all follows the plan right at the moment, but several years ago, that was exactly what Richard Branson did with this, one of his ventures, which is Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, probably. Back to your point, what to do? To test and like what should be the talent, like if you're a startup and if you already have if you're a serial entrepreneur, if you're a seasoned entrepreneur, so most probably you already know how to do it, or maybe not, so maybe you was lucky enough in the first place. So my advice, like egoistic advice, would I say, to get a subcontractor, to get somebody who knows how to do it, like technologically, from the point of methodology. So before spending money, your money, investors' money, first you need to contact somebody who knows how to test hypotheses, like and that will be beneficial for your survival. Your survival, I mean, as a startup, as a engine for searching a business model, a feasible one. So and. That's what I say. That's more like what is your idea? Like how you would try to catch this magical product market fit?
Yeah, in general, there are frameworks for managing product market fit. Actually, product management frameworks. There's a number of them, and all of them have their iteration process. Like you brainstorm all the hypotheses for these pains which the market has. You brainstorm the solutions for these pains. You provide this solution in some way, maybe on the MVP way, which is feasible enough to have some feedback from the audience, which is willing to pay some amount of money. And then you collect this feedback and understand whether this is the right way or not. And if it is not the right way to move forward, you probably pivot your project and have another iteration of this product development. You add more features which address the pains of the selected segment of the audience, and you talk to the audience, you test it, and you get back to this iteration until you get the traction that you need to get to the next stage, to move forward with the, well, maybe not the MVP, but the real stage product development. And that is basically how it works. Amazon applies its own framework. Microsoft has its own framework. Facebook and Apple and Google, they all have their own frameworks. But the main thing inside of them is testing. So that is some iterative way of brainstorming and moving forward. If the way that the leadership of the team thinks about the product market fit and cannot brainstorm correctly or provide the right MVP and the right feedback and collect the right feedback from the audience, if this chain is broken, then probably they have a problem with this. And that is when this problem market fit problem happens, and we don't probably have the result because of the broken chain.
Well, on my part, I would say we touch some philosophical issues, so some paradigma things. So, like what you said in the first place about product development philosophy. So, like my understanding is that it's already a second step. It's like product fine tuning. So when you already found a product market fit, and then you just fine tune it in a better way, like when you calibrate it. So like, but it's already a process. So it's already it's already management of the things. Like real magic is to spot the very first coordinates in this wild topology of a bunch of technologies, a bunch of countries, a bunch of audience niches, a bunch of industries. Like, where is the starting point when, which would be from which we will start to make this search, like product development, like this so-called gradient descent. So as they say in network mathematics. So and just to find these very first coordinates is quite a tricky issue. And here I would say like the ways of testing are more robust and more wild. So
I would say that you always have to find the right coordinates, because as soon as you think you find it, your competition can find it as well, or maybe move to the same spot of the market as you have found. So as soon as you do it, as soon as you identify your pain of your selected market segment, and as soon as you address it, you know how to provide service or product to satisfy the market need. So then competition rises momentarily. A low-cost competition from India, China, from your neighbors, from whatever. So, and you always have to iterate. You always have to ideate. You always have to invent something new. Well, this window of opportunity is very narrow. I would say in some situations maybe weeks, in some maybe months. But again, that's very narrow. You cannot be always first with the iPhone, because there comes Android very soon. You cannot be very first with any of the ideas, because there always come competitors. For example, we see that ChatGPT, which is a brand new thing, and all of a sudden, all major platforms are doing their own AI, they're doing their own experiments and their own AI chatbots and whatever, and there's a lot of going on in this space. So that's not been a year when the ChatGPT arrived, but Google has BART, and that's pretty good as well. So you have to be fast, you have to iterate fast, you have to always implement this iterative product management framework with moving forward with new ideas and with always getting better and trying to find new pain points for your audience.
Let's say so. We have just one slot left for one of the reasons. What we will choose? Next one for major startup failures.
Well, I would say that we identified that none of the reasons could be referred to lack of money or insufficiency of money. So let us dive a little bit deeper into this. And I totally agree with you, by the way, that money is not an issue. You can always make pretty decent products and show traction with almost none of the money and with very, very low financing. And if you show some traction with low financing, you will always find, well, this financing, if you have something in your brain at least, and that would be totally doable. And that means that you always have to think in the right way as a leader of the team. You have to have a right team, although it might not have not sufficient money, but you still have to do something. You can do something with that. And that's pretty feasible. We see a lot of examples in the startup phase when pretty small companies with a low budget have their pretty decent products, and they can move forward with new fascinating ideas. And sometimes they scale a lot, and they have a lot of prospective things. Well, I would like to show an example of this ideation process that we discussed a little bit earlier, and that money is not making any relevance to that. With probably discussion of what Elon Musk does with Twitter. It's not like a situation where we don't have money. Elon has a lot of money, but he's trying to make from Twitter, or as he calls it right now, X, well, something very new with a lot of platform-based ideas, and he's trying to make it like some kind of WeChat of China, and some kind of unified platform with all the features and all of the ideas that are trending right now. Well, I think that this totally makes sense because the old models don't work, and you always have to ideate. So, can you give more ideas on what you think?
My idea is I'm a bit confused about the message that you need to ask audience, that you need to talk to clients. Again, it's a little bit later stage to talk to the client about some details. Well, yes, like you need to talk to the client, like to get a lot of information, but you need to be careful. Like you need to understand why are you talking to the clients. Like you're talking to prospective clients, to general audience. You're talking not to get the answer like what product they want. Like classic. Like as Henry Ford said once, if I would listen to people what they want, so I would bring to the market a faster horse. So no, not a car. So
that's totally what Steve Jobs said. That's exactly what Steve Jobs said. So he does not want to, well, great minds does not want to listen to the audience. Although they need to have their feedback, they do not need to do what the audience wants because they do not know exactly how to provide this service better, cheaper, and whatever.
Yes, but again, in order to enable a great mind to come up with a great idea, like you need information. And in the initial stage, you need to talk to the general public, but not with the primary purpose to get the answer what product you want, but to get the answer what pain you want. Like you need to talk about pains. Like, and in most of the cases, like these pains are not articulated. They are not articulated even in the minds of pain owners. So like you need to be better in spotting these pain points. So, and contrary to the public, you know what technologies are available right now at today's level of technology evolution. So, and here you need some kind of serendipity for navigation in this multidimensional topology. So yes, you need to talk to the clients, but be careful and don't forget why you do this. So they will not tell you what product you need to bring to the market. They will tell you, if you are a careful listener, they will tell you what are their pain points. That's what they need. Well, half an hour. Let's continue tomorrow. What do you think?
We'll try to find some new maybe ideas to discuss about this. I don't know what would be the topic for the next
session.
That's not a podcast, but a video cast.
Yeah. Let it be surprised. Sorry for interrupting you. Like general message to the public. Like if you're a technology entrepreneur, or if you want to be one, or if you're already in the team of technology entrepreneurs, like in order to succeed, you're more than welcome to listen to two seasoned guys who made a lot of progress in many countries of the world, in many technology stacks, in many industries, in different roles. So we will discuss major, as we said today, pain points of our industry. So that's quite interesting, and this is quite contributional to your development in this field. So you're more than welcome to join us tomorrow for more insights. Correct, Valentin?
I'm sure that's correct.
So thank you everybody for today. Have a great evening. Valentin?
See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later.